am sure you've heard this statement that says, do not invest in these areas. What areas are those? In this video, I am going to be sharing with you the areas that you are not supposed to invest. But maybe you are comfortable investing in those areas, and let's jump into the video and explain those areas, what they look like. So number one on my top list is that never invest in an area that does not have any form of business activity. What do I mean by that? There are so many areas out here, and some areas I want to say that they are dead in terms of business activities, and some areas they are just starting off. So let's define no business activity. Let's take any area that was back in the days a mining area. And within that area, there was no any other activities other than the mine. Now, the mine is come and gone. It is closed. And properties or land, it is extremely cheap. Now, you going in there and you're like saying, yay, I have found good real estate. Well, my friend, it is a dead neighborhood. There is no one who wants to live there. There is no business activity happening in there. That's what I mean. Do you know of such kind of areas? Well, let me go on to give you point number 2. I want to speak about areas that have no track record. You might be thinking, what do you mean by that? Right. You might be doing a flip, or you might be doing a buy-to-let. So let's start my example with a flip. So you found a good property and you want to flip it. However, when you go and pull reports, I did a video, by the way, not so long ago, of a video. In that video, I was showcasing tools that you can utilize, and you can pull some records all over from different service providers. One of them is called Lightstone. Another one is TPN. Already I've given you 2. Right. So you can pull a report, and now you're doing a flip. So you're wanting to see the selling prices of these properties before you actually do the flip. So for that reason, if in that area there is no track record, there are no reports at all, it doesn't show nothing in the last 5 years, 20 years, no property has been sold, is that a good area where you can be doing a flip? Definitely not. But it may also mean that people in that area are just not good at documenting stuff, or they haven't been, the area is not active, right? So it may be that the opportunity is actually hidden in the no track record. So you need to judge as you see the property itself. But if there's no data at all, I'm like, a little bit worried. But I also take the same opportunity and I walk the streets. I engage the local people. I engage the local estate agents, people that are in the area that can give me the data that is missing. But if all of that also is missing, whoo, yeah, run for your money. All right. Okay, that was point number 2. Point number 3 is invest. If you're not comfortable in an area, then don't invest. So where you are not comfortable, don't do it. Yes, don't do it at all. Because now you're putting in money in an area where you cannot go and collect the returns of it. So does it make sense to invest in such an area? By the way, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is TJ. It's great having you here. And if this information is great to you, hey, hit the like button. But also don't forget to subscribe. We are a tribe where we are just educating ourselves around real estate, around business. And if this information is great to you, yeah, subscribe. That way you stay close to the fire and we all learn together. Who knows? We might be also talking about a deal. That's what we do here. But before I go on, point number 4. Remember we spoke about these reports that you can pull and so on. So point number 4 is that If you're in the buy-to-let, so I give an example of a flip. If you're in the buy-to-let, this is from Airbnb, no more tenants, student accommodation, whatever the case could be. But you're in the buy-to-let, so you're buying properties, you're holding them, and then you're getting people to rent in your property. And if the area has what I call a low payment track record, what does that mean? Let's assume this area is a 40% of the people in the area, they pay on time, and the rest, they don't, right? Why would I invest in that area? It's a very good question. Why would I invest? Why would I invest in that area as opposed to another area where the payment track record is sitting at 90%? Oh, TJ, are there areas like that? Yes, there is, Benny. Come down, sit down, go and check the reports. Yes, right? The reports are a guiding line. But obviously, for you as the landlord, you now need to be able to collect. So if there's no mechanisms of collecting, then the people can't obviously pay. But if in the area there is a low payment track record, I'm on the fence. But there might be an opportunity there as well. You see, I always see things from both sides of the world, right? I'm sure you've seen that by now. If you've been here in the tribe, you know that. Point number 5 is that, is there a high vacancy rate in the area? What do I mean by that? So remember, we're talking about don't invest in these areas. So don't invest in an area where the vacancy rate is high. So basically what I'm trying to say here is, do your homework to see why is there a high vacancy rate in this area. Is it because maybe the demand is low? Is it maybe because the supply is too much? Or is there an opportunity here where the supply is actually not fitting the demand in terms of it's not a fit, right? So you've got maybe big buildings that were commercial and big open houses, and they are not livable accommodation. So the supply is there, but it's not a direct fit because people that are now staying in this neighborhood are more family orientated. So yes, there is a vacancy, but it's actually an opportunity because you can turn those buildings now into living houses. See, right? You're not always looking at the wrong side. I know the video says don't invest in these areas, but where you're not supposed to be investing, that's where the other opportunity can also kick in. Point number 6, areas that you have identified that there's a security concern. It almost comes back to that other point that I spoke about. Are you comfortable? So in these areas here, you go in and you are not comfortable, but you're not comfortable from a security perspective. Now, guys, when I say don't invest in these areas, you're going to run a business. Yes, your buy-to-let, it's a business. Your student accommodation, your Airbnb, and you got a security concern with that area, and now you are putting in a business in that area, and you're expecting people to come in. How are they going to come in now when everybody else thinks that there's a security concern, right? Or we may also look into the same security and say, what if your business is supplying those that are actually vulnerable? Maybe you have elderly people staying on the property. Maybe you've got single parents who are female. Maybe you have students, right? These people are generally on the high list of criminals because they're easy targets. And now you've got a business in that area. Is it that business going to survive? I don't know. Maybe you put in some, you might be looking at it on the other side. It says, TJ, yeah, I know that you're saying don't invest in this area, but I'm going to put parameters, I'm going to put cameras, that's cool. But there's other areas where you can invest without even doing all of those things. Just saying, right? I'm just saying. So you need to look at both sides of the coin. The last one is that I'm going to ask of you, Do you know of any areas that where you would say to the next person, don't invest in these areas? And if you do, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know those areas too. It is ITJ. It's been great hanging out with you. And before you go, I want to thank you for watching. And if you know of anyone else who is keen knowing these things, send them the video. Yeah, let's spread the love. Make sure that we are all educated in these things. We'll see you on the next video.